Hey everybody, it's Dina Rico with the Creativity Cave. I'm so excited to share with you this gorgeous card that I created, and I just love how it turned out. It is using the Oh So Succulent bundle from Stampin' Up! That is in our New Occasions catalog. I'm just looking for the set to show you. Of course, I had it here a moment ago, but since the camera's on, the set is gone, as is my experience anyway. Oh, here it is. It's just right next to my area. Okay, so the Oh So Succulent bundle is a gorgeous stamp set that has some fun sayings in it, as well as some beautiful succulents. And I think these are so versatile, and they are such the trendy thing these days. I don't know if you look everywhere, I see succulents in Target, in like stores like Crate and Barrel, and probably even Pottery Barn, though I haven't been there for a while, so I can't verify that, but it's so the trendy thing to do, is to have succulents. And my daughter, who's a teenager, she is so into them, and so are her friends, which I thought was a little surprising, and she has a whole collection of them in her room. So anyway, succulents are so awesome, but I had to create a card that was for the theme of love, and I wanted to use the stamp set because I have a brand new online class that I just posted for this, as well as a few others, and I just really wanted to create something a little bit different with this. So let me show you what I did. First of all, it helps to have some scraps of paper to stamp these different pieces on. I also have die cut myself a little heart, and this is from the framelits that coordinate with the Sunshine Saying stamp set. You might remember this one. It's so cute. There's a heart in there, and then this big flower, and then there's like hope and congrats, and I've got sunshine, congratulations, hope, and you can see I have several sunshine, congrats. What else is there? Hope, sunshine. There's something else, I swear. Anyway, I can't remember what it is, but you want to know where it is? It's kind of funny. I have this. In fact, I'll grab it. I will air out my dirty laundry here. This is my magnetic tray of shame. So this sits next to my Big Shot, and it's all the framelits that I'm kind of actively using. Of course, that's a loose term because there's Christmas ones in here and it's February. But I put all of the framelits that I have been working on in here, you know, so I can put them all back nice and neat and whatnot. But, you know, we're still like only a few layers in, and there's a ton of them. And I pick this up. Yes, this tray is kind of heavy. But what I love is all the... See? Congrats. Love. That was the other one. That's what's in there. See? Love. And I have two sets of them, and both sets are... loves are in here. So does that make you laugh? Or does that make you feel better? One of the two. So you can see I've got Christmas in here, butterflies, jars. I got it all. Banners, bears, you never know. For those of you who like The Office, all I have to say is Bears beats Battlestar Galactica. Okay, if you don't watch The Office, then that means nothing to you, but trust me when I tell you it's kind of hilarious. Okay, I'm setting that back in its shameful spot in my office. But here's my heart. So I die cut that, and it will go on my, here's my card pieces. So I've got a half sheet of Sweet Sugar Plum cardstock. I'll fold that in half, and then I'm going to adhere it with a piece of early espresso, and then we're using very vanilla because I thought that'd be pretty. Mostly because I really wanted to use the crochet trim on this, which I inadvertently put away because I was cleaning my office up so I had enough clean space to shoot this video. You know how it goes. Anyway, I think my Emily's sitting here in the background, my assistant, and she's, I think, giggling to herself because she knows what a hot mess I am, but she says she's amazed I pull it off. I always do. Okay, so back to stamping a little bit here. Now I have kind of an awesome color combination. This is Pear Pizzazz Rich Razzleberry Sweet Sugar Plum Crumb Cake and Early Espresso. And I think I've done at least a somewhat similar version to this before. I'm not sure if I had the Early Espresso in there. I might have done just those colors, but I love the Early Espresso. In fact, I kind of added it towards the end because I wanted something to kind of punch it up a little. But let me show you, I have a couple little fun things on here that I did. First of all, I took, so there's a solid and a detail stamp for each of these, which is kind of nice. And I'm going to take and ink up the solid one, and then I'm just going to stamp it off. I just happen to have a little piece of cards or Post-it right there for that. Then I'm going to take my sponge. You can see this is my sweet sugar plum as I have marked it with my Sharpie. And I'm going to sponge ink around the edge. So I stamped off the first layer of ink, and then I sponged a little ink around the edge so it's lighter in the center and darker towards the edges, which you can see there. Isn't that pretty? And then I will do the detail right over the top, like so. Now let's see. This isn't hard to coordinate, but what I like to do is when I mount my stamps, I make sure that they are positioned pretty similarly. These are off just a little because I have to turn this, but they're generally in the same. I'm coordinating these two and these two petals that are kind of together. Do you see that? And then these two and these two are together. So that makes it easier to line up. They're not really hard, but it's just a little tip I have for you. Then I'm going to do kind of the same thing with this one, except I'm not going to do the sponging. I'm just going to stamp it on there, and then I'll do the dark over the top. And same thing here. I have these mounted on the blocks similarly, so you can see I did a good job of lining that up. Nice. Okay, then one more thing that I'm going to stamp, and let's see, I'm just looking for the stamp. Here we go. I'm going to do the same kind of thing. I'm going to take the solid image of this greenery type stamp, and then I'll just stamp off the first layer, stamp on the rest here, and then I'll do the detail right over the top, but full strength. And right over the top. Oops, I totally missed. Telling you, that's the tricky part of having your camera in the way here. My mom is here visiting this week, and I don't know if you can hear that. She's upstairs unloading the dishwasher. Is that not the most glorious thing? She's totally helping me get my act together this week. I mean, it's a struggle, but we'll see what we can do. Okay, so I'm going to die cut these pieces out with the coordinating framelits, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I have my die cuts here. And now what I'm going to do is kind of assemble and fill in my heart. So first of all, what I'm going to do for adhering my heart is use my trusty silicone mat and sponge. If you haven't seen me do this before, it's really a great tip for adhering detailed framelits such as this. So that, you know, things that have the skinny lines and maybe have holes and openings in the shape. So what I'm going to do is squeeze a little of my liquid glue on here, and then I have a sponge. You can see my sponge is getting a little ratty, but I'm going to turn this over on the back side, and I'm just going to spread my glue and just sponge it over my shape. And then what I can do is easily adhere this onto my cardstock without getting adhesive all over myself and everything else. Okay, so look at how awesome that is. It's just glued down and no sticky anything. Isn't that just fantastic? That just makes me kind of giddy. I keep it in this little container so that it does not dry out. That doesn't keep it clean, it just doesn't dry it out. All right, so next what I'm going to do is take and kind of position these shapes a little bit just so I can see where I would like to place them. And you can see I kind of have it like this. I'm going to pop this one up, but then I want to add in and fill this area in so it's a little fancier. And I have to tell you this story. By the way, I die cut this little thing, which is kind of it will hang down, but because it it was too long for this shape. I just literally ripped it in half, and then we're going to tuck these in places. So we'll leave those off to the side, just so you know what my plan with those was. Okay, so I have to tell you the story. My son, well, we were all sitting at dinner last night, and my daughter was telling us how one of her friends, she got dumped by her boyfriend yesterday, so she was just kind of saying, she's going to be in a bad mood because she was going to see her that last night. After dinner, they had practice. And she said, oh, she's going to be in such a bad mood. And then I said, oh, should we make her a card? And she's like, Mom, she has a new boyfriend like every week. And I was like, oh, okay. So I guess we don't need to give her a card. I'm stamping off this first layer, by the way. And she's like, no, she'll be fine. And then Carl piped up and he goes, well, I'm available. And I was like, oh my gosh, you're 10. She's a junior. No. So that was kind of funny. But I can't remember, I'm not even telling the story. I'm not giving it justice because he said it so funny. He's like, well, I'm available. He just chimed in, at just the right time, which is so my son. And that was just, oh my gosh, we just all about died. And then speaking of my nephew, this is so sweet. He's a little younger than Ella. I think he's 2 years younger. So Ella's 15. And so he would be like 13. And oh, dang it, I just did it again. I was inking this in the wrong. Since I stamped off these, I wanted to just do full strength with sweet sugar plum, but I keep messing it up, trying to tell my teenage angst stories. So anyway, my nephew is 13, and this summer he, I don't remember what we were doing, but for some reason he was sitting there and we were talking about, like, I think my husband was teasing him saying, hey, do you have any girlfriends or whatever? And he goes, I am single and not ready to mingle. I thought that was pretty funny. Okay, so you can see I have my 2 succulents kind of stuck on there. I'm going to just take this ripped in half piece and put a glue dot on there and tuck it in, just so I have a little greenery sticking out. I just love the shape of this because it's just kind of fun and different. Of course, that's kind of the whole thing with the succulents, is they're a little different. They're so pretty. I do think this looks a little bit like the boot of Italy, but that's another story altogether. Now, as I was making this, I was like, okay, this is really lovely, but I want to fill it in a little bit more. So I took some of these teeny tiny images from the stamp set, which I really like these little teeny images because I think they're kind of fun. And I'm looking forward to playing with them a little bit more. And I'm wondering, did I just drop it? Yes. Oh, maybe not. I dropped a couple stamps and I can't find the one I'm looking for, but okay. So what I'm going to do, oh no, I guess I do have them. Sorry. Don't you like the commentary that transpires with these videos? So I'm going to, I shouldn't have quite adhered that down, just stamp a couple of these in here just to fill in some of the spaces. Oh, I took off a little more than I intended here. We'll stick it back. It's all good. Don't worry. We could always make it work. But then this one, so actually I'll show you what I did. So I thought, oh, I'll put it in crumb cake, so it's nice and soft and subtle. But then I was like, oh, nope, that's not dark enough. We need it to be darker. So then I just stamped the early espresso over the top, but then I kind of like the look of that. So I'm going to do it again. So I stamped it in crumb cake. Then I'm going to take my early espresso because I stamped my sentiment in early espresso. So I kind of wanted to tie it all together. So I'm literally just going to stamp these right over the top, and they're not lined up well, that one is. They're not lined up exactly right. Let's see. They're off just a touch so that you can kind of see both colors. So there, that looks pretty good. And then I need to stamp, oh, I guess I need that open yet. So the sentiment that I use in here is, this is such a great anniversary or wedding card sentiment. So I'll just stamp that right there. The best love story is the one you write together. Aww. And then to finish this off, I think you would agree with me, the spritzing really adds a lot, don't you think? So to spritz, we're just going to take our crumb cake marker, and I'm just going to do my usual spritzing. If you haven't ever seen me do this, oh my gosh, it's the best. So I put it in the cap, and I'm going to press it with a pretty good firm hand. You can hear the flicking sound that it makes. And once or twice usually does it. So there we go. Isn't that awesome? I think it just really adds a lot. Okay, we'll close these up, and then we're going to adhere the whole thing together. Since I'm running out of space, we better wrap this up. Just need my adhesive. So I will adhere the layers. Now all the dimensions and details and whatnot are on my blog. I also have a brand new online class for this stamp set, as I mentioned. It's gorgeous. I also posted 3 other online classes, so there's several. In addition, I have a few others that I've already done from the occasions catalog, so there's all kinds of fabulousness. Just pay attention to the dates because they're spread out over the month coming up for when they're being released, one each week. The first is this week yet, so yay. And there's different options. You can have just the online class video tutorials, or you can get pre-cut cardstock mailed to you, though for each one, if there's framelits involved, like this has a set of framelits, you will need those framelits in order to complete your project, just so you know. And then last but not least, you can also order the online bundle, which gives you all the products that I include, and you get the class for free. So that's kind of cool. Now I have a couple versions of this particular class. I'm going to pop this up. I didn't do it on my sample, but I'm feeling it. On my Oh So Succulent one here, I also have a bonus add-on where you can get the Vertical Garden stamp set and project kit to go together with it. And it comes with an alternative way of assembling your project kit, which is kind of cool. It actually will make a calendar, which I think is pretty awesome. So, as well as a couple of cards. So it's all good. You're going to like it. I just know it. Now you could also, if you wanted, add a little shimmer with some clear Wink of Stella, whatever you want. I just love, 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 love this card, and I hope you do too. Thank you so much for tuning in. Don't forget to share this on your favorite social media platform, or of course, I would so appreciate your orders. They help me bring you more videos just like this, and I hope you guys have a great day. We'll stamp with you again soon. Bye!